Tonight we're getting new statistics out of Texas ICE detention centers showing a rise in deaths among detainees.
Most of these people aren't dying from natural causes. They're dying by suicide. NBC's Julia Ainsley is taking a closer look behind this trend for us tonight. We do want to warn you, this may be hard to watch.
The call came from an ICE detention center just south of San Antonio, Texas, 4 days before Christmas.
We have a 33-year-old pregnant female banging their head on the wall, and she's refusing transport.
2 months earlier, this call from the same facility.
We need an ambulance over here. We have a 28-year-old that tried to hang himself.
And another late last year.
Yes, ma'am. I'm calling from South Texas Ice Processing Center in regards to a 20-year-old with a neck laceration.
You said neck?
Yes.
Okay. Is it bleeding pretty bad? Do you know?
It's self-harm. He's been on this all day.
These just a few of more than 1,000 911 calls from 6 ICE immigration centers across the country over the past year, obtained by NBC News through open records request. 28 of those calls involved serious incidents of self-harm. One man swallowed a razor blade. Another drank cleaning chemicals. At least 3 cut their wrist. Self-harm and suicide in ICE detention appear to be on the rise. 5 presumed suicides so far this year, the highest in at least 2 decades, according to ICE data, and it's only May. There were only 2 reported suicides over 4 years of President Biden's term. Experts say it's all part of a larger rise in deaths at ICE detention facilities.
We saw the highest mortality rates in 2 decades.
A new study in the Journal of the American Medical Association by Dr. Sanjay Basu looks at how the death rate is increasing.
Is it just a matter of there are more people in detention, so therefore you're going to have more deaths, or is there something different going on here?
There's something different going on here because it's not just the overall number of deaths, but also the rate of deaths per person or per number of people.
And he says suicides have spiked.
Suicides are the tip of the iceberg and usually indicates that there are much greater mental health issues going on.
Immigration attorneys say a new policy causes extra distress. ICE data shows they're being held longer under this administration, and detainees don't get much information about whether they'll be released or deported. ICE pushing back. Outgoing Director Todd Lyons responded to questions about the rise in deaths in a congressional hearing last month.
It is the highest because we do have the highest amount in detention that ICE has ever had since its inception in 2003.
DHS said they could not respond to the 911 calls without knowing the names of each individual, which were redacted from the calls we obtained.
ICE told us that there's no spike in deaths, at least from a rate perspective. What would you say to that?
We need to check our ability to multiply and divide.
Okay, so it's pretty obvious to you.
Yeah.
Swallow a razor. Swallow a razor? Yeah. Okay, I'll go ahead and I'll send EMS your way.
As experts say emergencies like these are preventable, the government says they're tragic and rare, and the problem isn't new.
A DHS spokesperson also sent this statement saying death rates in custody under the Trump administration are 0.009 of the detained population. They went on to say that ICE detention centers have a higher standard of care than most prisons that hold U.S. citizens.